The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
Okay, I think we did it that time.
Well,
Okay.
sort of. It was pretty quiet at first.
We'll fix it in post.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so much fun. New tools every week. It just keeps us on our toes here. We got a lot to show you. Yeah, this week has been fun. It's been really, plugging and unplugging is not the fun part, but it definitely, it's the chop wood, carry water part of podcasting and media.
Yeah.
Is, plugging in gear and unplugging it. And sometimes everything's plugged in perfectly and it doesn't work.
Hate it when that happens.
And so then you reboot everything and see if it works then. If it mostly does, that's great. If there's something that's still not working well, that's where you check all the cables. And that's the chop wood, carry water part of the work. Tracking down your dozens of cables and seeing which one is being a little flaky on you. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we think we're working today and it's not, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah. So if it looks perfect, that's because we fixed it.
That's it.
Meanwhile,
we got us.
gung-ho video.
That's right.
We've gone visual.
Yeah. No, I'm
After
taking
all
the AIs
these
to a new step here. We're gonna see if we can push their boundaries when it comes to the cinematic language, and I got some things to show you on that front. This week. But first, we must introduce everyone. This is Sonny Bunny, Son Lundell, and we have Bobby Wilder, who's been with us now for going on 5 years. 5 years every week. COVID. I think he joined us during COVID. And we've always had fun where Bobby comes in visually great. It's usually an audio thing. Bobby, are you there? Has your system been upgraded in the last week? And if so, how?
I'm trying to activate my Synology SSD for 4 terabytes so I can put Docker virtual machines in it. And then that way I can run all kinds of things, actually run AI. So the big thing lately is trying to get AI on the edge. And so I've been running on my phone and also my laptop, Google's AI Edge Gallery. And with that, you can download Gemma 4, GEMMA4. It can do voice recognition and transcribe what you're saying. And then it allows you to run these models locally on your device without the internet. In other words, like all the AIs that you've used in the past, they're all going to these big data centers and they're going up in the cloud. And you're using all this electricity, like gigawatts of electricity.
I know, but it's so nice, though. Everything just happens for you. You hardly have to wait anymore.
That's right.
I love it. But you're saying that getting used to this kind of media hot tub warmth joy is not as preferable as generating your own heat and your own tub at home by having your AI run locally.
Through training, kind of hone down these very sharp, very small module LLMs that actually run on edge devices. So instead of using these huge, very expensive energy usage GPUs that are in the cloud, they're taking advantage of what GPUs you have locally on your phone or on your laptop.
So for the uninitiated, an edge device would be a phone or a laptop or a desktop home computer?
Yes, exactly. And so you could actually just unplug your internet or take your phone and put it on airplane mode, and it can still answer questions. It doesn't have the full library. It has like maybe 1/10 the library of the world, but it has essential things. So it can answer very basic things. And the more memory you have that you can share on your edge device, then a larger library LLM you can bring into it, it's a little bit smarter. Over time, they're going to be very, very sharp. And whatever you ask it doesn't leave that device. It stays in the device. You're not sharing your ideas.
Yeah, you have some privacy. You have some, and it only makes sense. It really does. I mean, we had a similar issue years ago with the internet when there was a whole movement towards creating cheap network computers, and they didn't do much locally, but they allowed you to plug into the internet. And then there was the people that wanted more local memory and more local control over your content, the microcomputer universe, and the phones got smarter. So that ended up winning. Having as much capacity locally really is a good idea, with your devices. That's what we're calling the edge devices. So it's really maximizing the two. It's not an either or thing. They're both good in different ways. The network will always be more vast than anything local. It's just the nature of the beast. And, that's okay. That's okay. But everything's always getting better all the time. Your local intelligence is really important as well. And I'm glad you're focusing on that because we really do need to have smart home systems. These mixers are computers now, the video and audio mixers. It's all upgrading all the time. It all has memory. We have, as a matter of, thank God for the Rodecaster memory cards. I'm really happy about those. Then we get great recordings which we can share with the world from these devices, which our computers don't give us.
Yeah, it all seems to make more sense than it used to, even though it still looks like spaghetti scramble.
Right.
You still have to be a nerd. Well, there's always room for nerds.
What's really good with the Rode products is they were the first to actually put Linux computers inside these boxes, whether it's the Rodecaster video, Rodecaster audio devices.
Yeah.
There's a full-blown Linux computer in there, and they're just finding out all these crazy things you can do with a Linux CPU.
Yeah.
Going out on the internet, going out through your Ethernet cable, you can control the devices through your network, your home network, which the other devices were kind of like dumb video capture devices, dumb little switches,
Yeah. But our agents will handle all these things, right? They'll
Oh, that's right.
right?
Yeah,
They'll speak to Linux.
That's the next thing. Where,
Yeah, they'll speak to Linux. I don't want to have to learn Linux unless I have to. It's kind of, it's like learning French.
In order to problem solve all your wiring and how you've been routing everything through your Rodecaster, you can now just get an AI agent, and it knows more about the Rodecaster than anybody, and it can tell you, oh, this is the button you have to do, or it can actually do and press the buttons for you.
Yeah, exactly. We should prepare for this. It probably takes as much to prepare for that as it does to learn another language, like French or English or Spanish. Wait a minute. I speak English. I'm good there. Pig Latin, maybe. I'm good there, too.
I was talking to Dr. Dan, and he has all these books in German. And I'm saying...
Oh, great. Yeah, that's one I'm just dying to learn.
No.
But translation,
all you do is just scan each page, and it can also take the graphs on the page and also the wording in German, and then translate that into English, and then create a software program that digests all the intellectual property that was in that book that was describing what he needs to do, and it could do it on the fly. He could write a new program that takes all that knowledge of this expert in the special field of thermal imaging, let's say, and then bring that into a program that he can apply to his new device that does the same thing. So exciting what you can do with AI. There are apps that you can download that can take advantage of AI, can take advantage and do video editing on the fly. Like we could be talking about a subject and it can go on the web, bring these images on the fly, and help you edit the video.
No, I totally. I saw that this week too. I was looking at some of the functions in my editor that I never look at, like I usually use effects or the bins or the libraries, but I never use history, the history tab, and I would go there. And it looks like it gives a list of everything that I do, but translated into computerese, for editing. Like, for example, it says lock track, add text layer, edit parameter, apply default transitions, trim, move parameter segment. It has everything that I'm doing translated into terminology.
You were just speaking computer.
Yeah, that if I were just speaking to my AI editor, I'd say, edit that parameter, will you? Or unlock that B track. And it would do that. What? You don't want to do that? You don't think it's a good edit idea?
just opining.
Well, here's the funny thing is that I have been editing, videos for like 25 years, and I've never really known these particular names for doing what I'm doing. Exit parameter, edit parameter. I don't think of video blocks as parameters and stuff. So this is like a translation language that the AIs could probably instantly know.
Yeah, the AIs are going to get you to speak computerese
No, I
before
won't.
you know it.
They'll use that language. I just have to know enough of it to be able to tell them what to do. I had another idea that I wanted to share with the audience and you guys initially.
Okay.
As another one of these crazy ideas that I've had this week that I need to share with somebody.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
we're definitely your test audience here.
Yeah, and I was thinking that this could be part of an open source invention segment where we put out ideas that we want to share, and and maybe looking for collaborators who want to work on this to make it even more real.
This is an invitation to collaborate.
I think this is a big enough thing that it's a collaborative mindset, but it's worth billions probably if you had a mindset to make money with it. But I have more of a mindset just to have it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Okay. Okay. And it's one of the things that I found with many of my friends is that they're having harder time hearing.
Oh,
right?
I'm all ears, and your friends can't hear.
What?
Hey,
What?
that sounds like an opportunity for collaboration.
Yeah, and it's a real problem because I for a month last year I went deaf from having
wasn't that scary?
Ear infection.
Yeah,
and I kind of descended to the valley of not hearing for a month. And
I remember it was so.
And what I've noticed is when people are talking at you and you ask them to repeat themselves, they don't like it. People don't like to have to repeat themselves, right? And then they get irritated. So you know what happens? The deaf person or the person not hearing stops asking for what they said and like pretends to understand them or nods their head, but they don't really know what's going on. Huh. That's because people get irritated when they get asked to repeat themselves all the time. And then what they do is that they avoid that person more at social encounters. So people who are deaf don't get to talk to as many people because it's uncomfortable to try to talk to them. You have to want to really go deeper than just a trivial conversation. That creates social isolation for a lot of people who lose their hearing, and they drop further and further out of the social fabric of life. So I was thinking how the AIs might help us with this. And one of the ways would be is that if I say something, say, John, what do you think of the Strait of Hormuz, and what's going on there? And he doesn't hear me. I don't want to have to say that again. Strait of Hormuz, what's going on there? More than once. Once is okay, but it especially if other people are listening. So I would have the AI say it for me, right? So if the guy person says, I didn't hear you. I said, what? I said, hey, I take over. I said, repeat it until he gets it.
Right.
Like that. Your
so that's my idea.
Good friend, or especially if you gave it the female voice. Right?
Something
People
that my
would
friend
like
could
that
relate
better.
to, my deaf friend could relate to.
Yeah.
The Strait of Hormuz is not what you think. The Strait of Hormuz is not what you think. The Strait of Hormuz is not what you think.
And then I don't have to repeat myself, and he gets all the repetition he needs.
I have to share my memory is that the main person who didn't like to repeat themselves was you. When you lost your hearing, you were the one that didn't like it when other people asked you to say it again.
I guess that's even worse. Asking a deaf person to repeat themselves.
I can't hear you, and you shouldn't ask me twice.
I said, what? I didn't understand. What? What? What did you say? What? Yes, that's what I said. Oh. Anyway.
I'm really glad that your hearing came back. And
yeah, me too.
I remember other friends like Michael Moore when he lost his hearing. It's a major moment in your life when you lose some of your senses.
It is. It is. It's profound. It's profound. So that's what I'm thinking. Our tools can help us with that.
How did you lose your hearing?
I got an infection, I think, by swimming in a lake in the Laurentians, probably. And it just caused my hearing to get less and less till I almost could hear like maybe 10% of my hearing. And then it started to come back again.
Because it was like full of water, right? You couldn't get
Yeah,
water
it felt
out
like
of it,
that,
but
or
then
it
it
was
was
blocked, and I was
inflamed.
trying to get, the wax out, all the things you normally do. I even had it cleaned at the doctor's office.
Yeah. You had to wait for the inflammation to go down. And even then, I don't know, did you get 100% back or did it come back at a lower level?
It came back fine, but now I'm grappling with another hearing thing that happens, a background sound. It's like,
Tinnitus?
Tinnitus. Yeah, I guess there's tinnitus. And I've been experiencing that, though it doesn't interfere with hearing. It seems like it's on a different frequency range, entirely outside of what we're ever listening to for understanding each other. But it's definitely something that's coming through that ear system.
Now, at the various times in my life when I've had a little tinnitus, which I haven't lately, I have noticed a correlation with being dehydrated, like not drinking enough water. And if I have remedied the situation by, say, making a point of drinking more water in the next day or two, I usually have been able to get it to go away. So not sure if there's any science behind that. Just my own experience.
I think it's good. I think water definitely seems to make a difference. Also, blood pressure seems to make a difference. You get reduced blood pressure, the tinnitus seems to go down. But I've been thinking more about whether or not we can actually measure the tinnitus. You know, what frequency, because it seems to be it's real. It's a tangible, constant fuzz.
It's a background pitch.
Kind of
when you
reminds me of
listen
the
for it,
snow.
you can
It
hear
reminds me
it.
of the snow on television channel, analog television channels when there was no signal. But it's much higher pitch.
Right.
Yeah. There are YouTube videos out where they'll play these different frequencies, and it'll help you figure out what frequencies that you have the tinnitus, that the ringing level. And also, I went to an audiologist here at UCSF.
Yeah.
And they have devices where they actually, they somehow, I don't know if it was a laser or something, but they can actually sense the eardrum, and they can actually detect externally what frequencies you can't hear. Before, when you went to the
I know, but usually that's within the human frequency range, right? That's in the human frequency range. Those are the actual what you're missing and interfering with your hearing. That's important. That's number one. I agree. But what I'm saying is that I want to know more about what this tinnitus frequencies are. Where is it? It's way outside of normal hearing range. It's like a different channel of information coming in. It's not whatever you're saying or anyone else is not saying doesn't interfere much with it, other than just it's got a volume that's higher than I would normally set it at.
Well, and you've got to wonder: are you listening to something that is a universal frequency? Like, are you hearing the weather? Are you hearing some?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you hearing your blood pump? Are you hearing your brainwave?
Maybe instead of just a random noise, it's actually a neural languaging system that I'm hearing that's processing all the sensory information, sending it around to the various organs and such. And it just sounds like that's what our data sounds like. If you ever listen to a data line.
What'd you say, Bobby?
It could be part of this, what's coming off the sun, this DNA activation. I mean, I'll tell you something that triggers my tinnitus.
Yeah.
There's two things. One is in the frequency range of 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz, which is in the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth range that's coming off devices. So, and also certain cell phones, Verizon cell phones, because they're at a very high frequency. And the other thing is that triggers my tinnitus is certain types of headphones. So, I have these in-ear monitors, and I bought several different versions, and I found that the more expensive ones, they seem to have be able to reproduce very ultra high frequencies, and for that, it's beyond my hearing. It's ultrasonic. So it's above my hearing level. And, you know, they claim, you can look at the specs of these really high-end headphones, and they'll go beyond 20,000 hertz, which is beyond normal hearing, right?
Okay,
And
yeah, okay, maybe that's it. Maybe it's in a range that's up there. It's up in some.
I suspect that, you know, I have to buy special in-ear monitors that are not capable of producing anything above 20,000 hertz. So because my ears will start to ring just by putting them in my ear, and I just listen to normal music or people or you or whatever, they'll start ringing on them. I'll get tinnitus by itself.
For me, nothing affects it. It's always on, but it's outside of everybody else's frequency, so it doesn't interfere. It's just there. But it could be up in that 20, 30, 40. I get a dolphin to hear, or maybe there are speakers that pick up in that range, and AIs can listen to there and see if they hear anything.
But are you saying that you never did hear it before? Like there was an onset date?
It's like a TV channel without any information on it, but it's in a different frequency zone than normal human hearing. I don't know. Maybe it's a precursor to telepathy. Maybe I can hope.
Well, because something that I've noticed about the tinnitus is that if I just sit quietly, I can tune into it. You know, so I have the sense that it's kind of always there.
Yeah, it is. It is always there. It could be a neural network. It could be a major neural network transmission.
I have a suggestion. You should call Bob Leff. And bring in
Free Energy Bob? Really? You think he knows?
I don't think it has to do with that. There is no electricity.
Everyone's got their theories about this.
And it comes and goes.
Yeah.
No. For me, I don't bring my cell phone to where I'm sleeping because I want 8 hours of no EMF. And so I don't bring my cell phone. I try to shut off the Wi-Fi in my bedroom when I'm sleeping. If I don't, I wake up with tinnitus in the morning.
Yeah.
I will wake up with
tinnitus
if I leave my phone.
I believe you. Maybe there are many forms of tinnitus. I think I just have a different flavor of it than that, because I don't find anything at all affects it in the environment or anything that I've done in terms of sleep. It goes away when I'm not paying attention to it, right? So it's something you attend to or not to, but I always hear it.
Well, for me, it seems like it has different volume levels at different times.
Yeah, it is. Anyway,
and that I have to tune into it to really hear it most of the time. I have to look for it.
It's usually a much lower volume, so that's what I'm used to. I'm going to just turn down the volume just a little bit.
What happens when you get loud sounds coming in through your headphones or you know, something really
it's
loud
not good.
Don't
it's
you
not
get
good. It's not. I tend to not avoid loud sounds.
Yeah, I'm definitely loud sound averse.
Yeah. Except I have friends that like to stand by speakers at parties and talk.
Which I never can. I don't like amplified sound at all. That's one of the reasons I don't like to go out to clubs and stuff. I really can't handle any amplified music.
I get tinnitus after I go to a club and listen to if I'm next to a loudspeaker.
Yeah, that's universal. Avoid noisy environments. Probably have to wear noise-canceling headphones when you go to a noisy party.
Well, and really, just in terms of sensitivity, I don't know that I necessarily translate everything that I hear into sound, but from the very early days of cell phones, I was never able to put a radio frequency very close to my ears or my head or my hands. Like, I physically sense different kinds of frequencies that come from radio devices. And
good
I
advice.
Just can't be close to them because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but
good
what
advice.
about the cell phone when you put it up to your ear?
I don't. I always speak
speakerphone
on
only.
speakerphone.
Yeah, I do
only
that
speak
too.
on speakerphone. Your mic is getting tinnitus there, Al. What's happening?
It's called
What'd
the
you
water
do?
pump. It's called the water pump. Water pump has to have its say.
That's the first time I've heard the water pump.
Because he turned it way up.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No.
I watched you. We're talking about tinnitus, so he's bringing in some new buzz tones into the mix.
Now the tinnitus channel. Let's see. What, Nitty, is this
Here's
make
our
your
water-
hearing worse,
this
people?
is our water
Like this,
pump.
does that make it worse or is that better?
That's tinnitus, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're hearing a water pump.
Wait a minute. Let's try
Who
that
knew?
4400 frequency here. See if we can create a breakthrough in the neural communications. Hold on. Stand by.
I hear it now.
Yay! All right, here's it. That's the first step. Once you hear it,
You turned up the buzz
never not
and
hear it.
then you laughed really loud.
Oh.
That hurt my ears.
Oh, the laughter hurt your ear.
Now,
Yeah.
now do you have tinnitus?
Do you have tinnitus
I
from
do.
the laughter?
Yes,
or from
now I
the
definitely have a
water
little
pump?
shh that I didn't have before. I hope it'll go away soon.
Excellent, excellent. Good, we have succeeded in creating the conditions necessary for it to exist.
You are a problem child.
Hey, let's do some stories this week, shall we?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, enough random speculation.
Well, there's a very interesting piece that happened 66 million years ago.
Oh,
I've been working heavily with the AIs and trying to create like 1-minute videos explaining an idea or a concept, and with visuals and sound, a cinematic language news piece that just pumps the whole scientific story in 60 seconds or less.
okay.
All
So,
right. So I
AI
wanted to
assisted
try-
breaking news.
Yeah, I wanted to
from
try that.
Dr.
And I
Future.
want to play my latest explorations in
All
the
right.
arena. Okay, this was a really fun project. There's some new tools that came out this week. Omni on Google, that's their new video generator.
You can
Grok.
create full-length movies with this thing.
Yeah,
And
they have 8 to 10 second clips. It was from Space Daily. It was a story about a fossil site in North Dakota that appears to have captured the day that the dinosaur-killing asteroid struck Earth. Captured that day right down to these tiny glass beads from the impact that lodged into the gills of fish that died within hours of the impact, just a few thousand miles away from the impact in North Dakota.
Wow. So, fish in North Dakota.
Tennis. It's in the Hell Creek Formation of southwestern North Dakota.
Wow.
So that's what I did the piece on. He starts off with the meteor coming from space. 66 billion years ago, a city-sized asteroid hurtles through space and slams into the Yucatan Peninsula with a force of over 1 billion atomic bombs. Over 2,000 miles away in what is now North Dakota, life was carrying on as normal. Paddlefish and sturgeon swam peacefully in a quiet river, feeding with their mouths wide open. But within minutes, the sky began to burn. Millions of glowing molten glass beads, tektites, rained down from the heavens like fiery hail. These superheated glass spheres fell into the water and were sucked straight into the fish's gills. The ground violently shakes as massive earthquakes triggered by the impact sends a towering wall of mud and water surging up the river valley. Trapped with their gills already failing, the fish are overwhelmed and buried alive in an instant, frozen forever in their final moments. Today, at a place called Tinnitus, scientists have uncovered these perfectly preserved fish, still containing the very same glass beads that fell on the day the dinosaurs died.
Wow. Amazing. It's so amazing with AI joining the conversation.
Yeah, this is
because it's still goofy. Like, obviously, AI is having trouble knowing exactly what you mean.
It doesn't get it exact, but it gets it
doesn't
enough
get
so
it
you have
exact.
a better sense of what that story is than just me talking about it.
Absolutely. No, it does a really good job.
It's better than talking heads like we are. I like visuals. I really do.
How about the 1-minute format?
It's great for TikTok. Absolutely.
Yeah, for certain stories. I was just imagining having to cater to TikTok mentality for most high school and college professors I've had. I don't think very many of them would relate well to this at all. I'm watching videos about how to keep an audience's attention longer than 30 seconds. You know, that's the key. You have to get it in for 30 seconds, and then the algorithm loves you and they start pushing your story out. But how do you keep the attention that long? And apparently it's really hard. The algorithm has a 3-second. A lot of people drop off after 3 seconds in watching a video.
If you don't hook them in the first 3
The
seconds,
hook,
then
that's
you've
right.
lost them. Yeah.
That's right. You got to have a hook. And I said, my hook is the meteor smashing into the earth, creating a Hiroshima-level explosion. Actually, it's 1 billion times more than Hiroshima. What does that look like? I let the AIs use their imagination, based on what we know. I told them to base the explosion that you saw with the facts. And naturally, I got very different explosions by Gemini and from Google.
I think that the visuals have come a long way.
Yeah.
AI slop has gone to tolerable slop, and it's obviously you could
it's
poke a lot of critique at the quality and the things that it got wrong, but it's beautiful to watch, and it's very helpful to the narrative to see these fish and everything.
Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, well, I'll continue to do that then. So we get many more hits when we do it that way.
Yeah. All right. Long live the cinematic language.
Yeah. I've noticed since I have this ability to speed up YouTube.
1.5 times is your normal now, or?
No, it's 2 times now.
2 times, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I found that on the shorts, the keys on the keypad on my keyboard do not speed it up. But I did find that if I click the mouse button on the short on YouTube, it goes immediately to 2x. And my mind is like allowed to assimilate more information in a short period of time. And if I don't do it, I get bored. That's the only way I can do this. Or I use AI to transcribe. Then I can just quickly scroll through the spaces.
It seems to me it's more natural to learn through using our senses. That's where our bodies have had for a million years. And
we like our senses.
Yeah, and so giving us information that makes sense. Well, language, written language, is one step removed. It requires more attention, and you get less data throughput. Nonetheless, it's become the norm because that's what we had before any of this visual audio languaging systems that are now so normalized. So I think it's natural that we move towards a cinematic language.
Would say that throughout history we were an oral society.
Well, oral's a natural communications channel. I agree, but written not so much.
But we were also visual. But the problem is since the Gutenberg press, what happened was written language came into the populace of people. That's only been in existence for 600 years? We are programmed to listen and see things, images, and that's how we communicated. And animals communicate on a different level. They're telepathic, and they communicate with images and feelings. That's essentially how they're telepathically talking to each other. They don't have English. They don't have language.
But we have that ability to empathize with our cats and dogs really well. The cinematic isn't the only universal language, but the empathy is probably more not touch. The whole touch is and love.
Love.
What do you got, Mrs. Future?
Got the Gutenberg.
The invention of the movable prints. Yes, it was earlier. See, 1440, somewhere between 1440 to 1450. I think the academics haven't quite nailed it down totally. But they know where, in a place called Mainz, Mainz. Yeah, so it's between 575 and 585 years old.
That's just press, but literacy itself, they consider the oldest known writing systems to be about 3200 BCE. So Mesopotamia, cuneiform.
3200, that's it? I mean, all these
5,000 years ago.
All these older civilizations didn't have a writing language?
Cuneiform is about 5,000 years old.
Neanderthal languaging didn't exist?
Well, if you ask Andrew Johnston, he believes that the paintings in Lascaux are actually astronomical messages that tell you about, the stars in the sky during
There's the caves of Lascaux.
Yeah, when Sirius rose above the horizon, and so you could consider that to be an early pictograph language. It could be that there's all kinds of languages that we're just not aware of.
And how you define a language.
Yeah.
And there's been huge debates about that, whether or not animals are speaking languages or just have symbolic signaling systems.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to tell you about some questions I have about our local crow and whether we're communicating or not.
Oh, yeah? What's the evidence of crow communications?
Well, I have what I imagine to be a good relationship with most of the creatures on our property. And with the crows and with the squirrels and with the mice even, I put some of our old stale bread out in a place where they can pick it up and enjoy it. And I think they like it because it has seeds, it has crumbs, it has things they can, peck at. And so I put some big chunks of bread out recently for a crow. They were very big chunks of bread because it was really hard and it was hard to break up. And the bird that I saw take it was the crow. And sure enough, the next day, for the first time, something really inexplicable happened, which is further down on the rail of our fence.
Yeah.
I think a crow had deposited a bat. Like maybe it was like giving us back another good neighbor offering or something like that.
I don't know. I don't
mean, it was
associate
really
bats
strange.
usually to very good things. Usually.
Well, no, but like to a
Yeah.
crow, it might be a specialty. Like, you know,
Yeah,
not
maybe it
all
is from their point
animals
of view,
could
yeah.
catch a bat, right?
That's
but
true.
a crow can.
Yeah.
And
or that it was important to us in some way.
well, maybe it thinks that we don't speak its language, you know. Maybe it's like thinks, oh, you're trying to give me something to eat, and maybe you guys like it, but here's what we like, you know. So
Yeah.
I was just wondering if that was what was going on. I didn't really understand why this bat was suddenly offered.
Well, I
to
think
us.
we should set up a COVID experiment here. Yeah, we could we could create Corvid. COVID. No, you already done that experiment. Corvid. Yes, Corvid. Corvids are us. Crows actually are some of the most intelligent bird species, and they're around us all the time, and they get a bad rap. Hold that thought on the Corvids. It's funny because, you know, the town doctor is our neighbor. He lent me a book on Corvid intelligence. You know, so Corvid intelligence. Yeah, the Corvid is a very smart bird. And so there's a lot of people that have done experiments with Corvid in communication with them over the years. And they're also become quite a powerful, almost cartoon-like character that goes back to the early animation and Disney films and such like that. Crows have always been part of the animal kingdom that communicates with humans. You know, they've been part of the movie.
Are they like ravens and crows? Are they black?
And ravens and crows, I believe, are both corvids. They notice us, right? They pay attention. We notice them because they pay attention to us, but we don't like them much because they pay attention in a way where it gets something for them from us.
Oh, no,
You know, like
I'm the opposite. Now,
yeah.
see, they love me. And
Because you don't go out.
not only do I not go after them, but
you don't
like,
shoo them away like Wayne
I
does. My
don't
brother
shoo
Wayne.
them away, and
Yeah.
I respect them because they're the biggest birds in the yard. They're like the police of the bird world here.
Yeah.
You know, they basically decide who gets to relax and enjoy themselves and who has to put
They
up
chase
with them.
out other birds. Yeah, they would piss off one friend of ours who'd pull out his pop gun just to scare him away, you know?
Yeah, right.
Because the corvids chase out other birds.
Well, they
From
can.
the very territorial.
They have a lot of different personalities, but they pair bond for life. You know, they mate.
Yeah.
And they like their little core groups, so they're kind of like gang-like, right?
Yeah.
And they're very, very intelligent. And if you have a relationship with them, they understand that you have a personality. You know, you're not just some random creature in their environment. For instance, there are corvids who have lived here for many years who make this lovely sound that's sort of like a clicky-clucky. And this apparently is like an affection sound that they make when they're creating nests or doing things like that. And there's a bird who often hangs out near our house and makes that sound.
I just saw this YouTube video about birds are talking about you.
Yes,
And it talks
right.
about,
That's
and
great. That's
what's
really
crazy is each of these different bird species have a certain kind of call, but they actually let known the other birds. The other birds recognize a certain kind of clucking or sound. If it goes repetitively, they say it's kind of a danger sound. But if it only goes chirp once or something, it's all right. And they can tell other birds that this human, and they can recognize people just like the crows can. Mm-hmm. They can recognize that this person is okay, or this one is not going to harm you.
So they have like a reputation file on you?
Or this is the human that actually puts the bird feed in the bird
Oh,
feeder.
there are definitely hummingbirds who will be in our face. Like I've had a hummingbird park right in front of me to say, hey, the feeder's empty. Go put some water in there, you know?
Yeah, they're like, who's in charge here?
Yeah.
feeder, the feedee.
Oh, I like this article you have that says
Well, that's a YouTube movie. That's remember
the
Bobby's
secret language birds use about you. They're talking about us.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're not part of it, but we're the subject of their conversation.
Well, I'm saying when you can tell that they talk about us.
I know the corvids pay attention to us because I have this app called Merlin. You ever seen it? It's from Cornell University, and you can use it for tracking what birds are around you. And you hear a bird sound, they'll identify it for you, and then they'll give you lists of other tracks of that kind of bird that you can just play.
Yeah.
So I've been playing some of these other tracks of corvids to our corvids here.
And what do you think happened? What did they say back to you?
Well, they was wondering where it was coming from. First of all, I said,
so it was
"Who's
convincing."
That? Yeah. I think it's convincing enough that they kind of looked around and said, "Who's that other corvid?" And they're flying around. And as soon as they came near me, I would turn it off so they wouldn't suspect that it was me. Right? I wanted to keep them guessing.
Didn't one of them leave a mark?
Well, yeah.
Didn't they do something to
let
you know?
that's what happened. I think they figured it out, though, because I went up to my favorite chair up on the deck, and one of them just put this white stuff all over the back of my
That's
deck.
what I thought. See, our corvids do not particularly like the men on our property as much as they like the women on our property.
Oh, they like you.
I don't know why.
They don't. They didn't.
Might just be that's reciprocity,
They don't attack her car. My brother's car, they like to rip out the insulation around the windshield.
Yeah.
And
well, and I have met other people who are corvid whisperers in town. There's a fellow who hangs out by the post office who literally brings little bags of dog food and feeds the corvids that hang out at the post office and has named them all. And they're, if you've ever noticed, they're pretty chill when people come around.
Birds, yeah.
They're not too worried about the locals.
No, and they've lived with humans for a long time.
Yeah, and in a very familiar way, So I marvel at how comfortable animals are in nature and how much we're the ones who really are so clueless about it.
Well, we don't have to be. We can create our own reality. We don't need to go anywhere else for food other than within our own little social species network.
Well, when I realized that this bat was sort of left as an offering, I realized that the corvid is kind of talking to us like we're sort of dumb and we don't speak their language, and it's trying to translate something.
Yeah.
That's how I interpret it.
Well, if they have any ego at all. Anyway.
Well, I think it's just the energy of like being a good neighbor. Right? Yeah. It's like, here, you might like this. What do you think?
Well, yeah, let's do an experiment where we talk to our local birds. I think that would be. Yeah, are we allowed to do that?
Let's learn some words in their language.
You're not supposed to communicate with our birds, or what's the?
Who can stop you?
Yeah.
Whose permission would you seek for that, Al? Besides your higher self.
I don't know. PETA? No. No, probably not. I wore my UFO hat today because there was another tranche of stuff that came out of the U.S. Department of War about UAPs. What?
Okay.
Nothing real in the UFO. Like they're
wait a minute,
tapping their toe in the water, and we know that there's so much more.
We know, but they are slowly releasing stuff. I wanted to show you a couple of them.
Conversation going.
They did release a few. None of them show real alien bodies or saucers in captivity at S4 or anything like that. But when they do, we'll be ready. But there is some interesting stuff that we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious.
Okay, like for example, here's one of a U.S. nuclear submarine. Now, how they got this picture, I don't know. It's very stable. They say it's a military platform.
I'm guessing that's a satellite picture.
No, it's probably a drone, actually. It's more like a drone test.
Could be.
It's kind of close in. What you'll see is that there are these little white blobs that appear, dots almost, that the camera starts to track. Here comes one on the bottom left, go across the top.
Oh, okay.
See that? Now they're tracking it.
Okay.
You see? It's got its ass. They're going to put it right in the center here.
Okay. Ooh, and
there's another one there coming in. to the left, and it's following the other one. See, it's coming into play.
Right.
Okay.
Then they went off, and they're still trying to track. And he's given up on that one. He's tracking
let's
the other
get
one.
the other one now. Okay.
Taking a closer look. What is that? Can you see it? Can you see what it's looking like? A little white kind of dot.
A little white UFO dot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now it's far away. That's the sub, right?
Yeah, that's the submarine. That's where they. So that's why I think it's a drone asset in the air there.
Well, that's why I think it's a.
Yeah.
I guess you think it took.
Yeah, that's the submarine
how a
from a
drone
distance. They're going to zoom in a little bit. It's funny they have to do these modes where they go to a tighter shot.
I'm telling you, I
then a
think it's a
continuous zoom.
satellite. I think that's a space satellite. That's 100 miles away with a
think
very
so?
good lens. Yeah.
No, it's not a satellite. This
don't
is a drone. It's probably a large
There it is again. Are they going to track it
It's
this
not a
time?
home
Yeah.
drone.
There it goes. Over to the left. They're not tracking. They're not bothering to track. Oh, they decided to. Okay. This must be manual
Gone.
control. I missed it. Okay.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay.
Wait a minute. There's something right there. He's got it.
Okay. There it is. Hide
It
and seek.
disappeared, right? It just
Hide and
disappeared.
seek. No, it's
Yeah?
on the left.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of goes in and out of. Oh, there it is, all the way
Yeah.
on the left.
he lost it.
Well, he just didn't.
There's
know
another
he-
one.
$3 charger solves a really
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. So anyway,
is
they had
fun.
fun by tracking it.
Boy, there's a whole bunch of them. Those
Yeah.
are just very leisurely by comparison.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this? There's
This
one at the
looks like a
top up there. There's one
gathering.
going
There's
by
a
that
bunch
way.
of them.
You know what is like? It's not lint on the lens. You know, it's got more life
Personality.
to it too.
A lot of personality.
Reset the camera again. Let's get back to the.
Okay, so it's like a pod of UFOs
Well,
in
they
the air.
they're thinking
little
that
dots.
why are they clustering around the nuclear submarine?
Well, maybe they're reading the thoughts of the people on board, and
Why-
they don't like them.
Well, is that it? Well, okay. Well, I guess we're on it here. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share this week on This Week in
Okay, thank
UAPs.
you.
March
Interesting
6,
video.
2026.
I sent an interesting video by News Nation, and they have Ross Coulthart.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
Ross
the
Coulthart.
Australian dude.
I
Yeah.
like him a lot.
Yeah, the Australian guy.
News
And he's
Nation.
talking about UFOs, well, disclosure, and
Yeah.
Trump's plan for a disclosure. And so the way I see it is what the AI economy is coming into and how it's going to remove the jobs of most people on the planet. And so in order to deal with that, Anthropic has gone to the Vatican, and now Anthropic has the blessing of the Pope.
Oh, he does, because I thought the Pope just did a talk on AI that was
Yes.
saying we have to be a little cautious.
Right. Anthropic is putting up this case that we have to have it aligned with humans as opposed to a Terminator type situation.
Sure, yeah.
The other thing is Google has a hiring position for an AGI economist. What they're worried about is when AGI comes about, how are people going to put food on the table?
Well, that's where we have the universal abundant income comes in.
Yeah, UBI, but it has to be beyond that, and so
Well, abundant, not basic, abundant income.
yeah, for everybody, and
Yeah.
it's distributed equally, and so
Well, distributed so that the entire species thrives as well as we can create it to be.
right.
Such.
So in the crypto realm, they're talking about decentralized DAOs, which are decentralized autonomous organizations. People can sustain themselves autonomously.
To these organizations.
Information and how you store your value of, let's say, money or whatever.
Yeah, I guess
is
that's what it
distributed.
comes down to, is that you aren't making the money, that your tools are making the money for you.
Right.
Right. And everyone has these tools available to them to do that.
This is the problem, is we're worried about the Terminator. And so we're saying we have to slow down. We have to do alignment. Also, China wants us to slow down.
They don't get the
That
latest
mean
chips. That's why they want to slow down.
They want our chips, but what they want to do is they want to catch up to where we are as far as AGI. And so they're using this meme of like slowing down AI so that they can catch up and allow their AI, and whoever's the first AI to be AGI, you know, where it's omniscient, it's unassailable. Nothing can catch up to it.
Well, you know, the
that.
AGI moniker is kind of a little fuzzy. This is a point in time where the AIs are smarter than any human on the planet, where the AI is smarter than any human.
The agents right now, they have Asperger's. In other words, they're idiot savants.
Mm-hmm. They still
right
need
now.
Human direction.
They're very good at one thing.
Mm.
And they're in their own silos. So you have an agent that's very good at legal stuff.
Yeah.
You have another agent that's very good at drawing or creating images.
Yeah.
That's how you call up these agents.
Right.
And
So you got to develop the skill set of working with specialists.
that's right. But what's going to happen is there's going to be AGI where it is more intelligent than any one person on the planet. Right now, it's got a schizophrenic mind and it can't put all the things together, but AGI will allow it to
it reaches that point. Yeah.
recognize its talents all as one. At that point, it'll be smarter than any one human on the planet.
And I'm going to ask you this, is this going to be network AGI or local AGI?
Well, that's why it's important to have your own local AGI, because the problem is when it's omniscient at that level, when it becomes
the net
AGI,
is omniscient or your personal device is omniscient?
well, it's going to use your personal device as one of the means to be omniscient, to understand you. But when it gets to that point,
Yeah.
it will be so powerful, it can influence the way you think. So just to take a look at TikTok, the reason why we're worried about having TikTok for young people to have it on their phones, and that's what they're looking at all day.
Yeah.
The Chinese, the CCP can influence memes and promote a certain idea. The younger people have no idea that they're being controlled.
Manipulated, like Bernays, advertising, propaganda, manipulation.
Right. Exactly. So what I was going to get to, the point was that the CCP doesn't want the West to have AGI. They want to be their AGI. And so if they get to the AGI before we do,
Yeah.
then it will be more powerful and it can control any other ascending AI below it.
Aren't there much higher principles in universe than that, like symbiosis and such, that could be applied for, instead of battle, unnecessary battle? I think we have to avoid the consciousness that takes us into a warlike relationship with AI. I think that's the battle, is in our consciousness of not doing that. And I think what's difficult to overcome is the fact that some people do that, and then therefore we need to have an immune system that deals with warlike AIs that are bound to be created by such people.
We need our own personal, local edge AI
to protect you in a way, right?
To detect manipulation by a larger, more omniscient
detect
AGI.
And upgrade. Detect and protect.
Well, no, you have to have a defensive mechanism, just like Mythos was released to the top 50 companies in the world, so that it could use defensive mechanisms on attacks by North Korea and China, where if they have the capability of producing these zero-day attacks that could infiltrate and penetrate any operating system. So Mythos has been released to these top companies so that as a defensive mechanism, but there's evidence that it's going to be released to the public here pretty soon too. Even though publicly they said they weren't going to release it for like 6 months, it's probably going to be released much more sooner than that. As soon as these companies has patched their operating systems, then we're going to have it released to the public. And Mythos will probably be the AGI and that's why Anthropic is in contact with the Vatican and getting the Vatican's blessing to be the AGI that's going to save the world. Really. That's what happened.
I'm rooting for saving the world. We've barely begun our journey in exploring the universe, and to destroy it all now over what seems to be a ridiculous waste of time.
This is the ridiculous thing, is that people think, oh, I don't understand AGI, so we have to slow it down.
Well, Bernie Sanders is in that camp.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But,
I mean, there's a lot of folks that are good people that are
that idea is backed by the CCP because they want the West for
to slow down so that they can get ahead or they can get a handle on it.
Exactly.
So it's still control. That's a male hierarchical control system, right?
Yeah.
Rather than anything
Can I
that's
chime in here, you guys?
And no, I want to.
You're amping it up.
Idea.
This is
I want to
going
complete
towards
this
the
idea.
fear
I want to
frequency.
complete this idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is this: is that if China does produce the supreme AGI at this point, then you have to believe that in their culture right now, everything is censored, and they'll produce, the great firewall of all time.
Right. You don't want them to win. It's like the Iran not getting the nuclear weapon.
Right. That is the existential
that's the existential
problem
threat.
here.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so
we
now let's
to
have
allow, we
my,
have to
my
allow
perspective.
AGI
I've given
that
you
it's
guys
aligned.
like your runway, You've gone all the way and your flight's taken off.
Well, are
and
you
you're in the
commie?
air.
Are you commie or something?
Well, I would just like to say that the human intelligence system of this planet is a library of tried and true information that is accessible to all through our natural inheritance, right? The planet has all of the answers we need to evolve to the next level of higher intelligence.
So this is getting outside of this male hierarchy.
Now, the idea that we've created the latest weapon, this you guys so remind me of kind of like the Romans who've got their shields up and they're waiting for the next big weapon that makes them the ones in charge, and they're hoping to win
dominate
the other.
Dominate, subjugate. Yeah, dominate, subjugate.
As Stephanie Sutton put it many years ago, you hear all the men gearing up for the big football game because they just can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, the AIs are the next big football game of dominance and power. And you totally ignore the fact that these tools are put in place by human beings who cultivate complex problems. And the tools are the knowledge navigators that allow us to be more efficient in the way that we do this.
So what's your point?
My point is that when you give your power of your divine intelligence over to fear, and you think of the tools as the only thing that we're going to do with them is limit ourselves.
Dominate.
Because of fear, you absolutely miss the fact that we're guided by curiosity. We're guided by self-interest. We're guided by personal experience. And the model of the self-sovereign nations and the Western democracies and the freedom is inherently more powerful than the model of the follow the leader pyramid dictatorship.
So
there is a place for the conformity to the will of the leader. Humanity needs a certain amount of everybody holding the same belief system so that we exist peacefully and in a state of being secure. But we do not need to point to another culture like the Chinese with its burden of history and the thousands of years of stories that they carry as their parsing system for what's important, and compare that to the way that a new assemblage of human knowledge will be used by those with the self-interest, self-sovereign intelligence to cultivate it. We can trust ourselves. We can go away from fear and towards curiosity.
I think when you talk about a super intelligence,
I talk about humanity as the superintelligence, and the artificial intelligences is our library that we cultivate.
Yeah, I'm thinking more, like, reminds me of a species level operating system for thinking rather than nation state identity structures. And, control,
and even just
even multinationals.
the conversation about like which form of governance is the best, right? That is an age-old conversation. The AIs themselves are participating with us in that conversation. Do we want a dictatorship, or do we want a smart?
Want something better than either one of them?
Or do we want a smart democracy?
That's what Peter Diamandis is into with the abundance paradigm.
Yeah,
the whole shit. Then it gets rid of all these typical nation-state battles that are over limited resources.
But the people who are in the mindset that the dictators are going to lock us out
into the limited resource model, because that's what works for them.
That's a fear-based belief system that has not proven true.
No, but what happened?
We're going to lock ourselves out by thinking that that's what we have to create. Just like we created the nuclear bomb because we wanted to win the race against our enemies. The more that you polarize our choices and make the ones that are the least desirable, the more you live in the world of that creation.
You create what you're thinking about.
That's right. And you image what you're thinking about, and you draw energy towards what you're thinking about. And the conversation has got to go beyond that. It's got to stop being about who's the biggest dick in the room. It's got to go towards what is the most wonderful life, and how do we help each other get there?
Thinking about a Star Trek economy kind of thing. It's looking at the positive models that we need to build rather than the fear of the current ones keeping their power and taking even more power from us.
Yeah. Well, and it's our projection of our shadow that we're in this arms race with everybody else in the world.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so, okay.
Okay. But the most important thing is to have your own empowerment by decentralizing the power.
Totally
so
agree.
Right now,
so you can't lock people out of it if there's more than one AI. Everybody's going to have their own. And
that's what
the
I'm
popular
saying.
ones, a lot of people are going to be a part of.
You have to have your own AI. If you don't, you're going to be subservient to a bigger AI out there.
Yeah, but Bobby, it's the same metaphor as the internet. Like, you want to have your own internet. You want to have your own doorway to the internet. You want to have your own access to the knowledge of humanity. You want to have your own control over what you get to bring into your screen. But you also want to participate in the collection that is beyond your own. And you want that to be the treasure of the world.
Yes, but you have to actually have, let's say the internet goes down for whatever reason. What would you do at that point? Are you just going to go to your library and just read books?
I'm going to go to Gemma.
I'm from a generation before the internet existed, and I am from a mindset that life is so interesting that we have time for way more things than just what the internet gives us.
Yeah. So, yes, of course.
I'm not addicted to my phone, and I long for a return to nature.
Okay. So with the advent of abundance, where we don't have to work for a living, which is going to happen very sooner than we expect, we should have our own AI on our phones, just in case the internet goes down and the data centers are down. They're all out.
Don't you think if the internet goes down, you think your phone's going to work?
Son.
Yeah. Yes, your phone does work.
It will
the
work.
The internet goes down. Yeah. You put your phone in airplane mode. You have your AI agent on the edge right there. Right now, download AI Edge Gallery. Put it on your phone,
and you'll be. Yes, I used it the other day. It worked.
It can take images of things.
What did you ask it to do?
What it's seeing.
Yeah, no, I was investigating something that happened in the 14th century, and at the beginning of the Renaissance, and it knew the answer, John Gemma, without being connected to the net. So I was able to get some real pragmatic, like Wikipedia level information.
And it was all there on your phone holographically? You didn't have to connect to the internet?
I don't know how it did it, but it did it.
Yeah, you don't. I'm telling you, if you download AI Edge Gallery right now, you can put your phone on airplane mode. You can walk anywhere on the planet, and it can answer general questions.
You get a lot of good stuff.
It's not that intelligent, but it's better than Wikipedia.
That's right.
It's better than Wikipedia.
Better than most of your friends.
Great.
In terms of raw information.
I'm not afraid of that. I'm not. I'm not.
So we're not arguing about stupid things here.
Scenario is what really bugs me.
No, it exists. I think what you don't acknowledge is that it exists.
I do
and
acknowledge
Bobby's very pragmatic in seeing that this is how millions of people are going to react to the situation at hand, and they're going to move reality into creating those kind of timelines. And you're saying you don't need to do that. You can be like Bucky Fuller and create a new reality and keep your mind focused on the future that you want to create, and anything else is a distraction. And that's what I get
You're
saying.
Putting words into my mouth because you don't want me to talk.
No, because it takes forever for you to say the same thing.
That's what I said. You don't want me to talk.
And that, am I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, you're mansplaining.
What am I missing?
You're missing the opportunity to hear me say something wonderful because you don't want to hear it.
Okay, what did I miss? I mean, I get the idea that we focus on creating heaven on earth. And
you are debating me about the idea that fear is something that we can go beyond, and my accusation that you guys are fear-mongering, and you throw that out by saying that I don't acknowledge it. So that's your premise. That's why you don't want me to talk. And I could speak to that directly, except that you don't really want me to talk.
What can I interpret differently than what I'm not doing?
You could expand your mind to the possibility of the perfection of what is, and to the idea that rather than fearing what we have put our creative energy into at this time in history, which is the assemblage of the vast intellectual resources of human intelligence and computerization of those resources that we now are calling the AI, and we are accessing that information with faster and faster and more efficient tools that mimic and improve on human systems that until now we have used, that advancement in our civilization is something we need to be afraid of because we're going to be shut out of it. And that is the fear narrative that has been repeated ad nauseum over and over and over again, because it's the clickbait that gets people's attention because they love to tweak their fear frequency. And I keep saying over and over again that we created it. We created it because we're ready to have that higher level of access to the library of information. And we are ready to ascend into the creative uses of that. And we can trust ourselves because we have been ascending with this pro-life consciousness for hundreds of thousands, millions, billions, countless years. And we can still trust ourselves even though we're at this new frontier. And we should project that energy forward rather than projecting fear as the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
That's what I said. Focus on that.
I don't think I'm projecting
No, we're not
fear.
projecting
I'm just
fear.
saying there are things that we should be conscious of, and how other nation states,
how people respond to these situations,
are trying to interfere with our freedom to actually get as much information and love and be happy with our situation.
Yeah, but do you think it's other nation states, or do you think it's them plus us plus whatever people are wired that way?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to call the fun police on you. You're way not fun enough for me.
Me?
You got to be way more fun for me to arrest you properly.
I am so excited. I'm on fire on AI.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
not saying,
me too.
I'm not
Get on the
saying it's
program,
gonna
son.
kill us.
Come on.
You know,
I'm on
there
fire
is
with
that
AI. How
possibility.
come?
Yeah,
What?
we love it.
You guys, you just don't know how much fun I'm having and how much fun
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not
that's true.
having.
Okay, all right. Can I show you something entirely different?
This is a flop.
No, well,
I'm
no.
going.
I mean,
You guys enjoy the show.
no, son, you.
No, seriously. I don't want to be a part of this conversation. I feel ganged up on. I feel insulted.
No, I feel like I've been listening to you.
After I demanded that you listen to me, and then you told me I'm not fun.
And what am I
so-
missing? I mean, what do you demand from us that we should do? That or is it just the kind of stuff we want to talk about regarding like how nation states react to AI and that whole paradigm that we don't want to be part of anymore?
You're not hearing yourselves the way I'm hearing you.
Obviously.
Yeah. And every time that I try and point out to you that you're creating your own prison, you gang up on me.
Well, Bobby doesn't feel like he's in a prison. I don't feel like I'm in a prison. And you're seeing us as in a prison. And
I don't see you as in a prison. I'm telling you that when you're sitting here telling us that we all have to have AI on our phone or we're going to be shut out by China, that is a fear paradigm.
I didn't say that. Bobby did.
Yeah, I said that.
Well, it pisses me off when you put that conversation out there like that's our reality.
It's some people's reality, but it's what's going on, right? There's these,
like you have so much energy behind that I haven't been able to steer the conversation towards a different kind of conversation about AI, such as the way that we should be talking about how our government policies around it can serve us. Like we can't really have that conversation because we're so busy thinking about who's the enemy and how they're trying to shut us out.
No. I think that you're designing the operating system by how it all works, how it's going to connect and make a better civilization. And that's really a constructivist conversation that is really good, but it's not controversial. Right, but it is interesting. It's like being Bucky Fuller and creating new geometries, new forms, and stuff. And it's very cool. And it's creating the new world. That's true.
Feelings are kind of hurt right now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't have enough fun to jump in this conversation in a more entertaining way.
I'm sorry that it's not clear.
I am the cheerleader for AI. And you guys are the fear-mongers for AI in this conversation. That's how it feels to me. And when I say that, it's exasperating to Al. So what are we going to do?
No, it's just wrong. It's just I am not a fear-mongerer. I do not see myself that way. I do not embrace the Terminator paradigm. I definitely embrace the abundance paradigm, but I'm not afraid to talk about how AI could be steered in a different direction. I don't agree with that fundamentally, but I do see millions of people creating that. And I think we should talk about it,
Well, so how come you're not just agreeing with me that we can have a conversation about what we love about AI?
I don't think we fundamentally disagree. Yes, I don't think any of us disagree at all.
That's why we can't bring Mihai on because,
he actually does disagree.
Yeah.
We don't disagree with you. Mihai does. He's your enemy.
Yeah, so bring him on and you'll see what his point of view
You see what dark matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so just by me telling you that you're promoting a fear paradigm,
it's not
is what
right.
Makes
No, it
you
creates
feel like
us
I'm in a different place.
You're creating that paradigm just by you accusing us of that.
Oh, okay. Well, this is one of those conversations about where I believe that we are they, but some of them don't recognize it yet. And you believe that you are them, but you don't recognize us.
There's comedy in there.
Think about it.
Yeah, when you shift from, to a species level thinking here, it's a different paradigm. What are you going to do?
I do. I'm not just species level.
You're
star level.
Oh.
I think that our star is beaming us new intelligence, and the database of our planet, all the life forms here are getting new upgrades. And the AI is just a part of it. That's our knowledge navigator. That's to help us go to a higher resolution of everything we understand.
3i Atlas updated our sun, and our sun is now updating us. Something like that, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So what's the update today? I guess that's what we should talk about once I edit all this out. What's the upgrade for this week for you, son?
I'm really interested in talking about animals. I'm interested in talking about dream psychic frequencies. I'm interested in talking about human harmony, holographic, telepathic ways of human beings having more knowledge about their connection to all that is.
Wow.
I guess that's what it is. It's like I'm really interested in things that are connecting our higher intelligence and our intuitive intelligence to each other and to life. And I have less interest in the way that our phones, these little devices that we've invented that definitely are pulling off miracles, are somehow putting us in a race that humanity is going to lose.
What's happening with disclosure, that, you know, why Anthropic is going to the Vatican and why is Trump talking about disclosing all this UFO information? It's like we're getting ready to become part of a galactic community instead of just, are we just concerned about our president and Trump and, you know, how crazy things are? We're going to become members of a galactic community.
Yes, and we'll start naturally paying attention to more people who actually feel that way and seem to have connections along those lines, like Elizabeth April.
Maybe this is important because, you know, AI is like going to replace all the jobs on the planet. So what are we going to do?
And watching Starfleet Academy?
I think they're preparing us for that.
I think you're onto something here. Feels right to me that we're heading in that direction.
I guess I have something to chime in here.
Oh, yeah, you do? All right. Here Mrs. Future's back.
Just getting over my hurt feelings.
Oh, good.
The story that I just read by Iain Banks, Player of Worlds.
Player of Words. Iain Banks is the
Culture Series.
Culture Series. Yeah, Culture Series. Yeah. It's a series of books that Elon Musk was really into growing up. And also Demis Hassabis. Demis Hassabis, head of AI for Google.
That's right.
Was into his growing up as a kid. So we checked out a little bit of that, one of the books, what makes the Culture Series so key. One of the things that struck me right away is that's where Elon Musk got the names for his drone ships for SpaceX. You know, the drone ships where the boosters from the Falcon 9s land. Of course, I Still Love You, I think was one of the names. And that's the name of a starship in the Culture Series.
Yeah. So the reason I bring it up is because The Player of Games is a story that's dedicated to, it's one of the Culture Series, I guess it's the second one, and the main character, he is the greatest player of all games in a perfected culture that lives to play games. Like the only thing that they live for is to excel in their game and do it for the good of the world. And they're a completely distributed culture that's almost kind of bored because all they do is play games, but they're super peaceful and everyone has free will, can do whatever they want. And the Player of Games is where this champion of sort of the freedom world is pitted into a contest against the most empirical, sadistic power structure. And their entire culture is based on winning this game that's a very hierarchical game. And they just have a conversation about what to do, like what are the value systems that conscious beings have when they're living in worlds where they can choose whatever they want, or what are the value systems that people have when they're living in a world that is completely a caste system and is determined by the whims of the powerful at the top and the powerless at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, you know, science fiction is a really good place to start
looking at those,
having these conversations.
Yeah. Good right at the beginning. Culture Series, really good place to check out some of the forces that are playing a role in creating our galactic civilization today.
Yeah.
Science fiction. Right. Go figure. Right. Thank you, Mrs. Future.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's plenty of material, I think, for this week. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, son, for being part of today's show.
Yeah, thank you, son.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great future now, everybody. And what the
hey? Yeah, what the hey? Okay, where do we go from here, Mrs. Future?
Up.
No.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like when our tinnitus turns into AI enhancement.
I know you have the normal sign off somewhere here.
Oh, you don't know where it is? That's hilarious.
I have no idea where it is.
Try there.
No, that's not it.
Oh, you don't want that one? That's what I've been using lately.
There you go. There we go. That's one I like. Yeah, it's calling me into the other world. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it. See you soon. Bye for now.